name is Richard Roach, and I'm a cognitive neuroscientist who's based in the psychology department in Maynooth University. And one of the things I'm interested in is the phenomenon of synesthesia. So today I want to talk a little bit about what synesthesia is and how it relates to things like art and music, and how that can be really interesting for people studying the brain and what it tells us about the senses and our sensory systems. So the term synesthesia literally means a mixing of the senses. And this means that information from different sense modalities connect in the brains of synesthetes in unusual ways, in ways they don't in everyone else's brain. So this might mean that you hear a certain sound and you might see a particular color, or you might encounter a particular word which evokes a certain taste or a certain smell. So these cross connections between sensory areas are really interesting for neuroscientists like myself, who want to know how the brain works and how these different areas connect and speak to each other. The more common types of synesthesia are known as grapheme color synesthesia. And this often corresponds to having a colored alphabet where different letters have particular colors, or sometimes numbers, or days of the week or months of the year might have particular colors. And for some people, these are really strong associations. So for example, the day Wednesday might be yellow in the same way that a banana is yellow. It's just something that it is. And for other people, they might see the colors in front of them as if they're actually in the world around them.
My name is Cece Hart. I live in San Francisco, California. I'm an artist, author, and neurodiversity advocate. I have many forms of synesthesia, cross-modal perception. The most prominent form I experience is called mirror touch synesthesia. Mirror touch means that my brain thinks other people's bodies are my own body. My mirror neurons are very reactive. And so if you have a cut on your left hand, well, I will feel that cut on my right hand, just as if I'm looking in a mirror. My artwork I have for you today is called Touched. It's a work based on mixed media, a photograph that I've overlaid with colored pencil and paraffin wax to give it a blurry look. It's a piece from a rock concert in 2015 where the artist on the stage was reaching out into the audience to touch the hand of one of the people in the audience. I love this artwork because it reminds me of my multisensory experience with touch and my mirror touch synesthesia. When I look at my artwork, this particular piece touched, I actually feel the two hands touching on my own hands. I feel the lower left corner.
There was a table set out under a tree in front of the house, and the March Hare and the Hatter were having tea at it. A dormouse was sitting between them, fast asleep, and the other two were using it as a cushion, resting their elbows on it and talking over its head. Very uncomfortable for the dormouse, thought Alice. Only as it's asleep, I suppose it doesn't mind. The table was a large one, but the three were all crowded together at one corner of it. No room, they cried out when they saw Alice coming. There's plenty of room, said Alice indignantly, and she sat down in a large armchair at one end of the table.
Nikolaos Konstantinas Čiurlionis was a Lithuanian composer and painter. He's the only one that I know of who was equally a painter and a composer. You're seeing now 3 parts of the Sonata of the Sea. It's not clear how many he did, but he did write a symphony as well as piano music to these 3 parts. In this first painting, called Andante, we see a very horizontal painting. There's movement, but it's peaceful, done in a slow kind of way. We see light coming out from the sea, and we see something like almost buried city underneath the sea. It's very peaceful, tranquil, and yet illuminated and mystical. This second painting, Allegro, shows waves jumping and running